Cop kills blind 10-pound Shih Tzu. Wow. City defends the shooting. You know what? I was looking at these things. Some of these things are fake, eh? I think some of these things are fake. I think these people are fake or something. Like
Oh man.
if you like, imagine if you look at these things, right? These type of things. Like I used to like. I remember. I'm sorry. I recommended this channel to you. As I've looked at more of his stuff, I'm starting to think a lot of it is fake. I don't know about this one. I don't think they're all fake. But let's look at this one for instance, right? Or I don't even know actually. Maybe not this one. But my point is that these people, right? What they'll do is they'll try to make you scared of the police and scared of things like that, you know? And so it's very weird, man. Actually, let me see if I can find that thing where. Anyway, I'll play this one and then I'm gonna try to find this thing.
Come on, baby. There you go. There you go. That's not how you handle a situation. If a dog is a threat to a person and harms a person or shows immediate threat, that's when you use force. There is many other tactics. You want to talk or you want to tell me how to do the job?
On Sunday, May 19th, Officer Myron Woodson, a city police officer in Sturgeon, Missouri, shot and killed this adorable little 10-pound Shih Tzu who was blind named Teddy. Teddy was blind and deaf and had escaped his enclosure. He was unable to find his way home.
Oh, man. Happened to you? Neck's broken. There you go. Put your head in there. Put your head in there. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. There you go. There you go. I'm not gonna let you bite me. You're looking all afraid. There we go. Just get in there. Come on, baby. So I'm gonna back you up. I'm gonna take you to get help. Gotcha. Nope, don't have you. There you go. Got it. Smooth dog. Gotcha. Don't let you bite me. That's my box. It's a little sensitive. There you go. Come on. Come on. Trying to help you, baby. Trying to help you. Trying to help you.
The dog doesn't. The dog is making it hard for him, you know.
Instead of rescuing him or taking him to the pound, this police officer instead shot him twice with his police issued pistol. Then he threw the dog's body in a ditch.
What the heck? Why would he do that? Wow, dude. But that's what I'm saying. It probably is fake, man. Like, what are you telling me that the guy just shot that dog? Really? You can't see it. You see how you don't see it? You notice you don't see the dog? You don't see the dead dog? So they're telling you the story that this policeman shot the dog and then he's going to get away with it. It's like, oh, write your congressman or whatever. And then the guy's still going to get away. So it makes the average American feel like, oh, the police is a police state. The police They can do whatever they want. We have to fear them, and there's no justice. The police can just do whatever they want. So then it's very useful for a controlling power to have this kind of propaganda. I'm just saying. I'm not saying necessarily this one is fake. I have not investigated this one specifically, but I'm going to show you another one which I'm pretty sure is fake.
Had to dispatch it. I'm gonna pick it up.
I'm just pointing out that this guy. We didn't see this dog. We didn't see this dog get shot. We didn't see a dead dog. We didn't see blood. We didn't see anything. But they're telling you that this dog got shot. Well, is that really true? And I'm telling you, like, that makes you people. It's about making people scared of the police and scared of the justice system. Okay, let's see this dog. Look, even now you can't see the dog. The dog's lying down. Okay, the dog's lying down. They could have done that many ways. There's many ways to make a dog lie down. Maybe they even drugged the dog. And he left and he came back, right? So there's we don't know what happened after the shot was off the dog, right? So that's how this is like normal filmmaking procedure. You can easily fake that. Is this dog dead? I don't know. Is there any blood? Do you see any blood? Do you see any blood there? Look, the whole thing, I don't see any blood. Is there blood there? No blood. If you shot a white dog, you shot a dog. They're saying they shot the dog twice. If you shoot a white dog twice, there's going to be visible blood, guaranteed, right? So now at this point, I'm saying this is fake. Okay? At this point, that's what I'm saying to you guys. I'm going to show you another one, which I think you'll probably agree with me that it is fake. Let me see this again. Look, still no blood. There's no blood, man. How can you shoot a dog twice and there's no blood? This is so ridiculous.
The scene was witnessed by a teenage neighbor, and the owner was alerted. The owner demanded to know where his dog was disposed of, at which time
By the way, now I'm not saying 100%. I'm not saying 100% because I have not fully investigated these things. But I'm just pointing out that this guy has two lamps here that are basically identical. It's like the two pillars. And his whole setup is kind of like it's very kind of Freemasonic. Even the way it's like very symmetrical and the two guns, and it's very like old American style.
Officer laughed at Teddy's owner.
So, you want her dog? I'm there.
My name is Nicholas Hunter. I live.
Okay.
I'm here talking to the officer that shot my dog,
Mm-hmm.
who is the person that found my dog and called joint communication. And I've spoke with her, and she has stated that the dog, she fed him, gave him water, and he was not fed. And she was just waiting, which nobody ever contacted her after she called joint communication, at which time she went outside.
I can respond to that. I'll tell you why we didn't call her.
Was my dog a threat to you or anyone else? Sir?
Now I'm gonna show you something.
What is your name?
I'm gonna show you something.
Your number, sir?
I'm gonna show you something. Come here.
May I have your
I'm answering your questions. Come here.
Officer Woodson?
Come here.
May I have your badge number?
I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna show you why we didn't call her.
That dog was, this is to be known on record, my dog is completely blind and completely deaf.
My guy, look at this.
13 pounds.
What does that say right there? Does it say no contact? She said don't call her. Now, if you want to talk, I'll talk to you happily.
That's not how you handle a situation. If a dog is a threat to a person and harms a person or shows immediate threat, that's when you use force. There is many other
Do you want
tactics.
to talk or you want to tell me how to do the job? I'm more happy to talk to you.
Job.
I'm more happy to talk to you.
There's no talking. You already took care of it. You handled it very poorly. Also, I like to be on the record that you told me whatever on the phone when I called about this situation. Hopefully, your calls are recorded when I called in.
Do you want?
Oh yeah, you notice this guy's got the red and the blue, right? This is, I know it doesn't look red, but it's reddish. That's what they'll do. This reddish things and bluish, red and blue. Like, I'm telling you, man, this thing is weird.
Want me to respond to anything, or you just want to sit here and lecture me?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I know what you're saying, Kenneth. I know you're getting mad now. You're like, oh, these damn cops. But I'm telling you, this is probably fake. First of all, the dog had no blood on it whatsoever. And now this guy's like, it's like, can anybody be this like, are normal people like this cavalier when they just shot a dog? Like this guy, you just killed his dog, dude. Are you really gonna talk to this guy like that? Is that a normal policemen do? I understand some cops are kind of idiots, but they want to get you in this thing like, okay, where you hate cops and also you're scared of them because you think that there's no justice. You think you're gonna find out this lawyer guy's gonna talk about how this cop probably got away with it or whatever. He's gonna say, oh well, support the channel, write your congressman and we'll save them or whatever.
I respond to the situation. All I have is information in hand, correct? All I have is information in hand. I see a dog that is walking around blindly. I don't know the dog's blind.
You didn't try to whistle?
Can I respond? Yes, I tried. I have a whole 10-minute contact with me trying to contact him. I had a little leash out too trying to catch a dog. How am I supposed to know the dog is simply, that's his medical condition? Do I know your dog?
A dog, unless
do I know your dog?
You are a person.
You know, that is not how this works.
It's not.
That is not how this works.
We shall find out, sir.
You sure can.
I'm going to do my stuff.
But are you trying to have a conversation or you just want to keep on
moving? Conversation. I guess if you're one,
I'm trying to speak to you.
Citation.
Am I not trying to speak to you? Do I have my citation book out? Is there a pen in my hand? Am I not trying to respond to you? I'm not trying to ease the situation. No, it's a situation. I don't enjoy shooting dogs. My God. All I had was a dog with a condition I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I am sorry this happened. I'm not happy I had to shoot a dog. I got dogs myself. How am I supposed to know the dog's condition?
You wear a camera?
I got a camera on this one.
What? Like the thing is, okay, even if you don't know the dog's condition, you don't know the dog's blind. You're trying to catch the dog. The dog's blind. And then what possible reason could this person have to shoot the dog twice, right? But again, like I say, it's probably fake, but let's see.
But I'm asking you, how am I supposed to know the dog's condition?
There's other ways. There's tactics to find out if the dog responds, if he's aggressive.
I understand how to make a dog respond.
Lethal is last resort. You can use a taser. You can use a lasso. There's many other.
What's a taser? I had a lasso. I had a lasso. I was using a lasso.
And what is it different? DT just give cops a bunch more rights, making it harder to hold them accountable. They say it flirts blatantly with martial law. Yeah, I mean, obviously, Donald Trump. Oh. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, obviously, they are trying to turn America into a police state. But this is part of it, like, this idea of, like, making them scared, making people scared of the police and stuff, you know what I mean? They make them all, like, freak out. Like, oh, the cops are going to kill your dog, man. And then
feel harmed when you were trying to catch him.
Did I ever say I felt harmed?
Exactly.
But you're not listening. You're not listening. You're trying to argue, but I'm just simply trying to talk to you.
Did he harm anybody when
I responded to a situation? Do you want to speak or do you just want to sit here and try to lecture me? I'm not trying to lecture you. I'm not saying you're a bad dog owner. I'm saying I have information I have it on hand. That's all I'm saying. And I'm sorry it happened to you. I'm sorry I had to do it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you're a bad owner. You don't see me writing a citation for a dog at large, do you? I'm not. It's a situation, buddy. I'm with you.
Your authority.
What authority? I went and spoke to a dog. I thought I had a medical issue.
By rules and regulations.
Bro, how was I supposed to know the dog to get hit by a car?
All right, let's look at the uncensored one. I'm gonna speed this up. It's one of these like fat cops who like every time he moves, he's like has to make a noise and stuff. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh man. Come here. Come on, baby.
Why would he do that? That's what I'm telling you. It's fake, man. Are you kidding me? Why doesn't that come on the body cam? Why is it like, or what part of this, like, what are you talking about? So dumb. Wow.
Have a dispatch it. I'll pick it up.
He doesn't even say anything to the woman. The woman's like, "There's kids here, man." He doesn't even care. Like I say, this is fake. So let's look at this. Look, no blood again. No blood whatsoever. Why is there no blood? Why would there be no blood? Like, it doesn't make any sense, man. Anyway, so now he's talking to this guy. Okay. So he's gonna talk to the guy.
To the pound. We don't have an inside here. So what is your procedure? Certain procedure. We have a pound cell. And what if I put the dog in and it wasn't medical emergency and the dog was bleeding internally? Then it's just sitting there suffering. And then you have the dog suffering. So how was I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Like everybody else, it was on there for an hour before you responded and shot it. You're supposed to put it online, put the dog in that. I have everything on my phone. Okay. When the lady posted it to let me know he was lost and everything. So it was online for an hour. So I didn't know about it. It's all on Facebook. Okay. It's all on Twitter. That's fine. And the lady has stated that there was no cause for that. There was no reason for it. She stated afterwards. Yes. Yeah, she stated afterwards. I understand that. And you can put them in back, and you can put them in back. If you can't find them, if I can catch them, a squealing dog insinuates pain. He was not squealing. Okay. You think all dogs squeal when they're in pain? Most dogs squeal when they're in pain. Not all, but most. Okay. Most squeal when they're in pain. Yeah. I'm not denying that. Yes, everything squeals when they're in pain.
But most, not all. Most of the dogs do, but not all the dogs. So therefore, what the hell are you talking about?
How was I supposed to know the dog? I didn't know the condition of the dog. That's what you're living in the world of. I get it, your dog died. I'm not judging you on that. I'm sure apologize. You have to do that. I can handle if a dog died if a dog was put down for the proper reason. Okay. It's the reason that you went about your authority. You know all the conditions. Pull out a weapon. But you know all the conditions of the dog. That's what I don't have. He was not aggressive to a person, and he was not in a harm to anybody. Okay, why was your dog not put in the house then, buddy? He was in a kennel. He escaped from it. I just went to Colombia. Okay, and where did I find the dog? How do I know? You did not make any attempt to do anything properly.
Sometimes people get hurt. Sometimes people get hurt, Chatter Girl, but I think a lot of times they don't. I think most of the time they don't. But I think there is times when they do get hurt. Yeah, this is fake. No, this is definitely fake. This doesn't seem strange. This is fake. This guy's red and blue. No blood on the dog. No blood whatsoever. This is completely fake. Completely fake and gay.
Legal force. So you weren't there. You weren't there, but you know I did everything wrong. So did the dog? Seen it. Show me a taser. Do I got a taser? You don't have a taser. Your hand's probably fine. You whistle to it, didn't respond. You go to it. Have you ever really worked with a dog? Have you had dog? Have you ever worked with a dog?
Yes, I really don't care about this dog. I want to show you this other one, man. Look at this one. Let me find this thing. Okay, so if we go back to this lawyer guy, I actually recommended this channel to people, so I hope everybody will see that I no longer recommend this channel. But wait, what was the name of this one? Hang on. Hang on. Wait. Oh yeah. Okay. Cops terrorize woman. Look, you guys are gonna see this is fake, man. Or maybe you won't agree. I don't know. I'll terrorize. Cops terrorize woman taking a bath. Okay. Look at that! Look at that! Look at that! Look at that! This is what made me think it's fake. Look at this. As soon as they walk into the apartment, is this something you would put in your apartment? Like, is this the kind of floor that people put in their apartment generally? No, it's not. It's certainly not. I've never seen this type of floor in any apartment building I've ever seen in my life. Never once. But anyway, let's go back to the beginning of the video because that's like kind of where I realized that this is fake. But let's see what he's saying.
Cops raided a terrified Seattle woman's home. It was the wrong address.
Seattle Police
Oh, by the way, notice this too. 11/22. It's 11/22, 2020. So that's November 22nd, right? Which is the same day JFK was killed, by the way. But the reason why JFK was killed on this day is because 11 and 22 adds up to 33. All right. So that to me, right there, that's just a given. This is straight up Freemason garbage. And then look what's happening here. They knock on the door. It's like it's so weird. Like everything, this whole thing just seems fake.
Cops raided a terrified Seattle woman's home. It was the wrong address.
Seattle Police Department.
Oh, really? Nice.
Open the door. We're coming in. Seattle Police.
See, like, wait. Who opened the door? Oh, I guess they just opened the door. I guess the door was open. I don't know. Anyway.
Seattle Police Department. Open the door. We're coming in. Seattle Police.
I did not hear Seattle Police at all.
I'm sorry about that. We thought that you were the victim and you were being held captive inside of this room.
Look how fake she's acting too. Like this is like she's supposed to be like she's freaked out because the cops came in, right? Look how fake she acts, man.
Seattle Police.
I did not hear Seattle Police at all.
I'm sorry about that. We thought that you were the victim and you were being held captive inside of this room.
In November of 2020, 45-year-old Elizabeth Wren was preparing for a bath when 5 Seattle police officers busted down her door and streamed into her apartment. She barely had time to throw a coat over herself when...
No, I just like I don't know. It's kind of interesting to me because most people would look at these type of videos and think that it's surreal. You know, I have another one that I wanted to show you guys too, but maybe I'll show it to you another day or I don't know. But this is clearly fake. I just wanted to point that out. I don't know. I was gonna like make a little live about fake crime.
When she was stormed.
But the thing is, like, this is the thing. This is what I'm saying to you, Truth Freeze. I don't think you can figure out the end of the world by reading the Bible or by looking at world events. I don't think you can read the future like that. Is the world about to end according to the Bible? It seems like we're coming towards the end times. I could believe that. But do I care? Is it something I need to really spend time thinking about and worrying about? I don't think it is. I care. I do care. I'm not saying I don't care at all, but I'm just saying I don't think it's something we need to really worry about too much, you know. But I understand your desire to look into that. I'll check it out.
By the officers who shouted commands and pointed their guns at her. However, the officers had no reason to enter her apartment. According to a lawsuit that she filed last month, the police had gone to the wrong address. They weren't even in the correct building.
Thank you. Apartment? 404. 3 of us are headed up to 404 now.
So, okay, so we remember that, right? We remember that black and white floor, right?
Building.
Thank you.
So this is the dead giveaway, and then also the 11/22 to 33. That's another giveaway. So this is I think this is quite clearly fake. But let's watch the actual video and tell me what you guys think.
3 of us are headed up to 404 now. Kevin, you be last legal, I'll be legal.
Seattle Police Department! Open the door! We're coming in!
According to the Seattle Times, the officers believe that they were responding to a crisis call about an intoxicated man who may have been attempting to push somebody out a window. While other first responders were able to reach the correct address, a second group of police officers ended up in a completely different apartment building where they mistakenly stormed Ren's apartment.
Open the door now! Open the door! We're kicking the door!
So what? This woman never heard that? You can't hear the cops yelling and banging on the door. What's wrong with you? I understand she's in her bath, but that seems to me that's like another way of like making this fake stories. You know, they make it seem like, oh, she was in her bath, man. What are you doing? Wrong door, wrong building. Like what? Like this happens all the time. They act like this happens all the time. You know, wrong door, wrong building. Cops are just idiots who go to the wrong place and then break in and try to shoot people.
Seattle Police!
We're moving on.
Show me your hands!
Hello?
Seattle Police Department! Inside! Who else is inside?
Nobody! I live alone!
Let me see the floor again.
Inside!
So is that what people say too when you see cops standing there with guns pointed at you? Is that what you say? What the F? Or wouldn't you say, "Oh, I'm don't hurt me, don't shoot me, my hands are up," or something like along those lines? I don't know. I wouldn't think. The first thing I would think is not like if someone's pointing a gun at you, right? A policeman is pointing a gun at you. My first thought is not what the F. And then remember how later on she's acting like she's all like, "Oh, I couldn't see." She's like shaking and stuff. "Oh, I couldn't hear you," or whatever. But like, so you're later on, you're upset. You're so upset, you're shaking. But right now, the first moment it happens, and a man is pointing a gun at you, a cop is pointing a gun at you with a flashlight in your eye. You're saying, "What the F?" You're acting angry and stuff. Like, does that make any sense? And then later on, she's like crying and stuff. I don't know. That doesn't seem like a natural reaction for someone.
Who else is inside?
Nobody! I live alone! What are you talking?
Come on here, man. James, what was the apartment number? Come on here. Come on.
What are you doing? Why?
There's no window. Open there. What apartment unit is it? The part number they gave us, they hang out with 404, not that one. I want to make sure nobody's down. That's why I want to make sure you're okay, okay?
What's going on here? Is this some kind of thing? Like, is this some kind of Freemason thing? 3 windows? I don't know. This is weird. This is very weird, man.
Oh, shoot.
According to reports filed by the officers named in the lawsuit, they entered the apartment without permission or a warrant because they believed the report of someone.
See, when they put the silver thing, that's like that to me, like every time you see the YouTube button in the background, it's just basically proof that they're shills, you know, to me. But I don't know.
Attempting to jump or push someone else out a 4th floor window, and that amounted to a life-threatening emergency. Since there were reports of someone attempting to jump out the window and or someone possibly being pushed out of the window, officers made exigent entry.
Wait. So wait. Does he actually say be watchful for his signs? Doesn't he say like? I know he says be ready. It's more like he's saying be ready always. I don't know if he's saying be watchful for the sun, but anyway.
To jump out the window and or someone possibly being pushed out of the window, officers made exigent entry into the apartment, believing that the subjects in the apartment were in danger and kicked the door open, wrote Wagner in his report. After entering, officers located a female inside but did not find a broken window or another person inside. Officers realized they had the wrong building. The civil rights attorney that she hired to file this lawsuit questioned the claim of exigent circumstances. He noted that once the officers arrived on the scene, they knew nobody had been pushed out of a window. The officers who entered the correct building contacted the man in the crisis who had a broken window, wounding himself. The man and his wife were both taken to the hospital and no criminal charges were filed, according to the police reports.
This is the wrong one. Ryan, this is great. Yeah, we gotta look out the window, okay?
The wrong address. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
All right, man, we're gonna have a supervisor come out here. So this is exactly what's happening.
So wait. So she was in the bath. According to the story, she was in the bath or about to get in. Maybe she wasn't actually in the bath yet. Maybe that's the story. I don't know. But there's no water at all. And I don't know why she would wear this weird thing. What is this? This is not a bathrobe. Is it? Is that what a bathrobe looks like? I don't know. What is that? Anyway, so it's very weird. This whole story is very weird, and I don't believe it.
Someone's being thrown out of a window right now. It's in this building or the other building. It's room 404. We contacted you. We knocked down the police officer.
Why does she have her sunglasses on too? You know, do people wear sunglasses in the bath? Is that something people do? Should watch for signs of the end times that God gives us. Is that right? I know. People always say this. Is there something in the Bible that says that? I'm gonna feel stupid if there is, but I'm not sure there is. I feel like there isn't. Watch therefore that you may know. Actually, there's something like that, I think. Anyway, we'll see about it. I'll check it out.
It sounds like you were the victim of the crime, and you sound like you weren't able to open the door, and that's why we kicked it in.
I didn't know who the was at my door.
I know. I'm sorry about
I
that.
didn't hear you say Seattle police.
Yeah, that's for sure. Like, the people are always talking about like, oh, let's prep for the thing, but that's not really Christian. But there are a lot of Christians that are into it. But yeah. Thanks, Mark. Agreed. But look, this thing is fake, dude. I don't know. Like this woman, like, why is she wearing that weird shirt? Is that what you wear when you go to the bath? Why is she wearing sunglasses? Is that something? Is that something you do when you're going in the bathroom? Is that what they was she wearing that when they came in? Can't remember.
The door, that's why we kicked it in.
I didn't know who the was at my door.
I know. I'm sorry about that.
I didn't hear you say Seattle police. I didn't hear that at all. I heard open the door, and I was like, who is this? And I did not hear Seattle police.
I'm sorry.
So she did hear open the door. She heard somebody knocking, and she got scared and she didn't say anything. Maybe she got scared. Is that what it is? Is that the idea? She got scared so she wouldn't say anything. I would call the police, you know?
We got
I would have answered the door, okay?
I understand.
I did not hear Seattle police at all.
I'm sorry about that. We thought that you were the victim and you were being held captive inside of this room, right?
As they're trying to console this woman who is clearly very upset, she's trying to tell them that she did not hear them say Seattle police. And if we listen back to the body cam footage, you can hear the officer say it one time first, but at the point at which somebody would hear there's somebody at the door, all they're hearing is knocking and the officer demanding to come in without identifying himself.
Seattle Police Department! Open the door! We're coming in! Open the door now! Open the door! We're kicking the door!
This is a terrible way of doing it. He only says Seattle Police Department one time, and then he starts.
Wait, let's think about this. So he kicked the door. Supposedly he kicked the door, right? Is that what happens with your body cam when you kick the door? You have no sight of the door. Is that what goes on? Was it the guy with the body cam who kicked the door? Is that what happened there? That's weird. So I guess I don't know. Is the body cam's like on the front part here, right? So then you go to kick the door. So let's say you're kicking, your body kind of twists because you're raising your leg and your body twists. You kick the door. So your body twists, so then your camera's overlooking this way. I guess that's what happened there. I don't know.
This is a terrible way of doing it. He only says Seattle Police Department one time, and then he starts knocking and just demanding that the door be opened. And if you look at this door, you can see that there is not a peephole. So here, the officers have both the wrong address, and they're knocking on the door in such a way as to really not identify themselves as police officers. And that is really a perfect storm. Instead of a woman taking a bath inside, it could have been an innocent homeowner who is in fear of his life and grabbed a firearm.
Right now, there's someone else about to have a window, so they're gonna go do that. We're gonna have a supervisor come over. We'll talk to you through that. I understand it's very, very jarring. I'm so sorry that this happened.
He's just like, oh, we're gonna have a supervisor come here and talk to you. Like, dude, this is so insensitive, you know. But I like I say, it is fake, but that's really bad. Funny that they do that.
Jesus Christ.
Was there a constitutional violation there? Well, where are we? Inside a home. Inside the home, searches and seizures that take place by the police are presumptively unreasonable, which means that they are legal as the default rule under the Fourth Amendment. Whereas outside the home, Fourth Amendment protections only apply where there's a reasonable expectation of privacy, and thus no warrant is required outside the home unless there's a reasonable expectation of privacy. But searches or seizures inside a home require a warrant or valid exception. The main exception is consent. The other valid exception that can be claimed is exigent circumstances, which is the issue here. That's what law enforcement were claiming to have used here to justify their entry. So what's the law? Law enforcement may enter a home without a warrant when they have an objectively reasonable basis for believing that an occupant therein is seriously injured or imminently threatened with injury. Again, this is known as exigent circumstances, and it generally refers to some emergency situation. The need to protect or preserve life or to avoid serious injury is justification for what would otherwise be illegal, absent an exigency or an emergency. That is an objective rule. The officer's subjective motivation is irrelevant. An action is reasonable under the Fourth Amendment regardless of the individual officer's state of mind, so long as the circumstances viewed objectively justify the action. Exigent circumstances can also apply to allow an entry under some other limited circumstances to prevent the imminent destruction of evidence. That's Minnesota versus Olson, 1990. Or if the officer...
So, I mean, look, I don't know what this guy's yapping about. This is what they do, but this is another tactic. Like, he's basically telling you that the cops are allowed to do that to you. They are allowed to kick down your door and point guns in your face. And when you complain, you have no rights. That's what he's kind of saying here right now. Well, is it a constitutional? Do the cops have a constitutional right to just break down your door and point a gun in your face? Well, according to what this guy is trying to tell you, they basically do. You know?
Is in hot pursuit of a fleeing suspect. That's United States versus Santana, 1976. However, also keep in mind that police cannot create their own exigent circumstances by engaging or threatening to engage in conduct that violates the Fourth Amendment. Their conduct must be reasonable. Were the officer's actions here reasonable, or was their mistaken belief here reasonable? I pulled the lawsuit, and there's not a whole lot of detail in it, and I don't have a copy of the police reports. So this may be one of those situations where the officers have to testify at their depositions, and we'll see what their excuses are before you can really determine whether or not those excuses are reasonable. However, even without digging into that, just using the body cam footage alone, we can see that
this is the thing. I don't understand. I'm pretty sure I can't remember. I'm not gonna go back and check it out right now, but weren't they saying that it's the wrong house and it's the wrong apartment building entirely, and the actual person was like it's some other building and they sent some other cops to get them? So if that's the case, how could they have a warrant? How could they possibly be in the right here? Isn't that obviously they're in the wrong? They went to the wrong house. They were not supposed to go to that house. They went to that house anyway. And then they were threatening to shoot the person. Like, obviously, they're obviously wrong, isn't it? And now he's trying to play this game of, oh, I don't know, maybe not. Maybe they have a constitutional right to do that. What kind of constitution is that, man? Cops can just come in your house and wave a gun in your face?
Not those excuses are reasonable. However, even without digging into that, just using the body cam footage alone, we can see that a reasonable police officer would have quickly realized, even if a reasonable mistake had been made as to the address, once they went inside, it was very clear that this was not the address that they were looking for. Yet they continued to search this place, and they continued to basically detain this woman for an extended period of time. So perhaps even if the initial entry even was authorized via exigent circumstances, at some point that may have become unjustified based on what a reasonable officer would have objectively seen once they went into the apartment.
So I'm not understanding. So I guess what this guy's saying is that if like even though it's a mistaken address, you know, because the like the mistake wasn't those cops' fault. It was somebody else's fault within their organization, right? I don't understand. Like, wouldn't that be okay? So it's the cops' fault in general. Maybe not those guys right there. Okay, I understand that, but somebody messed up here. Somebody needs to pay this woman or something, because that's ridiculous, dude. How can you just go in her house and wave a gun in her face? It's absurd. But he's talking like, oh, we have to take it to court and we have to decide. We have to like decide whether it's constitutional. What? What kind of constitution is that, man?
Here, there is compelling footage that you can see that, all right, this is clearly the wrong apartment. This woman has been traumatized.
Oh, look at
and
that!
indeed, they're trying
Look at that thing. See that? See this little flame, like a three-pointed flame? That's like some weird. That's some serious Luciferian stuff right there, bruh. See that thing? Oh, that's just. Is that like an award or something? Anyway, and then he's got a bullet, a giant bullet. The two guns and the two lamps are like the two pillars.
to apologize to her and placate her. And going back to the original issue of the initial entry, we can look at the video I just did on the Joliet, Illinois wrong address raid. And there, the Supreme Court case law that says that the officer's mistake as to the address does not violate the Fourth Amendment where the officer's conduct was consistent with a reasonable effort to ascertain and identify the place intended to be searched within the meaning of the Fourth Amendment. That's Maryland versus Garrison, 1987. So were there any efforts here by the police officers to ascertain and identify the address of the place where they were going? So we'll have to wait and see what happens with the lawsuit. One thing that it has going.
What do they mean? What do they mean? How could they possibly have made a reasonable effort if they went to the wrong house? They obviously messed up. And maybe it wasn't those particular cops on the scene, but somebody from that police department sent these cops to the wrong house and they broke in and almost terrorized the woman, like if we believe the story. So then clearly they're in the wrong. They should pay this woman. They've done something wrong to her. They've harmed her. Right? Isn't that obvious? Yeah, I know. That's what they do, right? That's what they do. I got a giant bullet on my desk, guys. I got two old school rifles. This is like it gives you this idea of like this old American way, the American way, guys, you know? And like, I don't know, I just feel like it's all like some kind of like. But I'm telling you, man, the two lamps is very Freemasonic. It looks like two pillars, and with the whole thing of the checkerboard floor and the 33 in the dates, to me this is just it's a given that this is fake. I wonder how many else of them are fake. Because the one with the dog, I'm sorry, that dog thing is fake. Clearly, the dog would be bleeding profusely. It's a white dog. So this is the thing. A lot of times when they fake it in a way it's like it should be obvious to you that they're faking it. They want to make it obvious because it's like hidden in plain sight, you know? And so for most people that just kind of go, oh, well, I don't know, I guess that's just how it is. And then they just go on with their lives. It's like for the occultists, it's like, you deserve it now, or the bad karma is going to go on you because you were given the information to understand what's going on, but you didn't take it up on it, you know? If Islam Sharia law becomes worldwide except for Israel, would you move to Israel? No, of course not. First of all, that's never going to happen. And secondly, I still wouldn't move to Israel. It's like saying we could take out your dog, burst in your home if we want. Yeah, exactly. So that's the type of propaganda they want to get people to be scared of the police and stuff, you know? Oh, we'll just come in, shoot your dog, and come into your house, and you can't do anything about it. And then this lawyer guy is sitting there going, well, we got to check if it's constitutional. I don't know. We have to go to court. We'll see. We'll see what we can do. It's like, what? How can these guys get away with this? It's ridiculous, right? So, yeah, I do think it's some kind of weird propaganda thing, you know? I'm still investigating this stuff. I want to do this whole I wanted to do this whole video about like fake crimes and stuff. I think there's lots of them. There's lots of them.
Okay, 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 okay. I'm studying the Bible in Toronto. 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 Studying the Bible with Mike and Pat. These other YouTubers are just so trash. Hit the thumbs up if you wanna support. Go follow Mike as he follows the Lord. I'm studying the Bible in Toronto. 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 You better watch out, Mike's calling out the shields. If you're not free grace, you need to sit down and chill. We're not hyper grace, you know we keep it real. Eternally secure, you know that we're sealed. We don't back low, we're not workspace heretics. Mike's not in it for the money, trying to get a lick. They out here selling their souls for a couple clicks. Becoming Freemasons so they can't just get rich. I'm studying the Bible in Toronto. 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 Shout out to Mike and Pat. Check out his channel, Toronto Bible Study. Subscribe and like.